What's up, gamers? I hope you guys are all having a great day today, just full of so much positivity and happiness, dude. Now, today I wanted to take this opportunity to talk about God of War Ragnarok, because Sony and PlayStation fanboys have absolutely been losing their minds for the past month or so surrounding this game, with constant rumors, speculation, industry insiders, leaked information, dudes straight up sending meat pics to God of War developers because they're trying to get the release date early before everyone else. Like, this entire situation has been absolutely crazy, dude. And there's so many small topics I feel like I want to touch on that I kind of just want to make one big video on it instead of like a bunch of smaller ones. So we have a lot of stuff to unpack here today, and I think this should be a lot of fun. So in case you guys don't know, the other day we did get a release date for God of War Ragnarok, finally. And honestly, man, I'm pretty excited for the game. I like God of War a lot. I think it's Sony's best franchise. I think it's their only consistently amazing franchise they have on PlayStation. I'm not really the biggest Uncharted fan, not really the biggest Ratchet and Clank fan. I'm trying to think of any other games that Sony has in a long-running franchise, and I really can't think of any right now, but you get the point. I'm a big God of War fan. God of War 3, one of my personal favorite games of all time. I enjoyed God of War 2018. I just wish there was more boss fights, which hopefully this game is going to remedy. But that aside, God of War Ragnarok looks fucking amazing. Probably going to be a great game, and really looking forward to it coming out. But leading up to this release date announcement, there has been all sorts of wild shit going down that I think we should all take a moment to laugh at, because holy fuck, man, it's humorous. Like, I don't know. Let's just go ahead and get started, man. I really don't think we need much more of an introduction here. So let's go ahead and kick this off with the rumors, speculation, and so-called industry insiders. So originally, we could not get away from hearing PlayStation fanboys talking about how there was going to be a state of play at the end of June where Sony was going to come out, show this massive gameplay trailer for God of War Ragnarok, and at the very end announce the release date and maybe the collector's edition as well. Well, that rumor came from a so-called insider by the name of Snitch, and well, it turned out to be completely fucking false.
Talk about it. In other news, PlayStation had a state of play on June 2nd, and it was part of the Summer Game Fest. Kind of a replacement.
Also, I don't mean to direct your attention to it because it's the most obnoxious shit you'll ever hear in your entire life, but the background music in this video is literal fucking ear cancer.
Replacement of E3. The state of play was simply fantastic. It showed off third-party offerings and VR. We got some surprise announcements.
Yeah, that state of play was absolutely nothing special. Motherfuckers are really getting hyped over VR games they're gonna play for 2 hours and never touch again. Come on now.
And trailers. We got the Final Fantasy 16 trailer that blew a lot of people's minds. But after the event was over, there was lots of rumors saying that we were going to see another state of play. Tom Henderson, a pretty reliable insider on the internet.
There is no such thing as a pretty reliable insider on the internet. All insiders, quote unquote, employ the method of flinging shit against a wall and hoping something sticks. Because everyone remembers what they get right, but never what they get wrong.
Has put out a tweet that puts out more evidence that we might just get another state of play next week. This is the tweet that he put out. Evidence of a state of play next week. Gran Turismo producer says an update on the game is next week. Jason Schreier says God of War Ragnarok release date later this month.
So your so-called evidence is basically that a game that came out over a month ago is getting an update, and there's a rumor surrounding the release date of God of War coming out. Jesus Christ, man. This is what I mean. These insiders don't know shit.
He put that out in the response to that weird article that came out from the random site saying God of War was going to be delayed. So he's putting two and two together and saying Sony is set to reveal some hardware next week as well.
Yeah, Sony, not PlayStation, released a bunch of headsets and monitors because that screams state of play, right?
All of that is adding up. Plus, Tom Henderson put out a news story that Sony is working on an official PlayStation 5 Pro controller, and it has some awesome features. That was the tweet that he put out that he retweeted. So,
oh, look, another rumor that was completely fucking false. Where was that PlayStation 5 Pro controller, dude?
you put all of those things together, plus there's some news that God of War Ragnarok the release date has been leaked potentially by a officially licensed t-shirt company, Jinx. They said that the release date is in October 2022.
Yeah, because a t-shirt company is, one, really gonna have the release date of the game, two, has to release their shirts on the exact same day because no one's ever heard of shirts coming out before or after the release of a video game, and three, no one's ever heard of a placeholder date, right? Like, this is what I mean, bro. The reach is absolutely fucking incredible on this stuff.
They are gonna have to put out information in regards to God of War Ragnarok, have some more gameplay reveals, etc. So it looks like we might get another state of play. That would be 2 for the month, which we haven't had in a very long time. Plus, they're gonna be having a huge E3 style conference, I believe, in September. So
like, it just never ends, bro. They always have to hype something else up. Now let's go ahead and jump over to MBG's video. Now the title of this video, I kid you fucking not, is literally God of War Ragnarok State of Play leaked by 100% reliable insiders. So right here, man, they're basically declaring this as objective fact, and this was on June 24th. So 6 days later, it would be proven that this insider was not 100% reliable. Who would have fucking guessed?
Now, the first topic is a very exciting one because we have what may be the date for the God of War State of Play that everybody has been eagerly anticipating. I know how some of you are feeling. It's kind of gotten to that point where it's like, all right, when is it going to happen? We're tired of the rumors. We're tired of the speculation.
Yeah, I heard you guys are tired of the rumors and speculation, so here's an entire video filled with just that.
We're tired of the teases, and that's what makes this so interesting is just recently Cory Barlog came back to Twitter, and he seems to be just teasing the fan base constantly and consistently, and people are beginning to wonder, is he just doing this to torture us, or is it leading up to something? Well,
equating tweets to torture, just fanboy things.
We have some good news here because it seems like it is in fact leading up to something. So this is reading from Push Square, where the title of the article says, "Prominent leaker teases impending God of War Ragnarok reveals."
If there's one thing I love, man, it's getting teased by a leaker.
So they say here, if you've been following the video game industry closely these past few weeks, you'll be familiar with Twitter leaker The Snitch, an insider with a flawless track record spanning everything from Sony's recent State of Play to a number of announcements throughout not E3 week.
Yeah, that perfect record isn't looking too great these days.
So reliable is this insider's rumors that you can practically take anything from their account as confirmation.
And that's exactly what all these fucking morons did.
And it continues by saying a superimposed Kratos meme with what appears to be a code at the bottom will have PlayStation fans' pulses racing then. Many believe the 11110 is binary for 30, or effectively June 30th.
Oh shit, dude, because he typed it in binary, it must be true. Like, this is what I mean, bro. This is like some elaborate troll by this guy. Well fucking done. You got these fanboys to take the bait so fucking hard, they shit out the hook.
This is a Thursday, which is generally when Sony tends to hold State of Play broadcasts. It also correlates with what other journalists have been saying, that more news will be shared at the end of the month.
And all those journalists were wrong as well. Feels good, man.
Obviously, the snitch has resorted to riddles with their newfound fame, so the tweet is open to interpretation. Given the rumor monger's track record, though, you can probably rest assured that something is going on with God of War Ragnarok soon.
Wow, dude, something's gonna happen with God of War Ragnarok soon? You know, thank you for that very deep insight in this entire situation.
So until then, we're going to just maybe want to sit tight and look forward to what's coming, and that's what makes this so exciting, and why, even though I know you guys are getting tired of this, it seems like the time is here.
Bro, I just don't understand these dudes that make like their entire identity hyping up one particular platform's video games. Like, it's just really pathetic, man. Like, if a game gets announced or not, my life doesn't change, but for these motherfuckers, it's like a life or death situation.
At first, I kind of thought maybe Cory Barlog was just messing with us. Maybe just playing with the audience, right? Kind of getting fans riled up. But I thought in the back of my head, you know, if Cory was going to do this, there has to be a reason. I mean, I don't think he wants to just come on Twitter, tease fans to just let them down, or leave them hanging.
Yeah, guys, Cory Barlog would never do that to us. He loves us PlayStation fanboys. We're his favorite people on planet Earth. He would never betray us.
And at this point, guys, it seems like all signs are pointing to a state of play for God of War that is going to happen on June 30th.
Aged like milk in the summer sun.
The timing of this just makes perfect sense. It's funny because some people were looking at this tweet from the snitch and thinking he was giving the release date because they were paying attention to the 11/11, which a lot of people are hoping that God of War Ragnarok ends up taking Starfield's release date, or what was supposed to be Starfield's initial release date.
Bro, this is that fanboy shit for you, because Starfield got delayed. Now they just want God of War to come out so that they can have something on that day so they can brag to Xbox fanboys. Like, this shit is actually fucking sad, dude. I mean, they were kind of right on the 11/11 though. Like, what, this game comes out 2 days before that?
That being November 11th, 2022, and that's still a possibility. But nonetheless, guys, I can't help but be very excited because we have been waiting for a long time now to get a big update on God of War, to get the release date, to get the state of play, to see more gameplay. And I will say this, if Sony is planning a God of War state of play for next week, then man, I think we are in for a treat here. I think that we are going to be blown away.
I honestly don't think, like, don't get me wrong, I'm looking forward to God of War Ragnarok. It's going to be a great game, but nothing about it blew me away when they've showed it. Like, it literally looks like God of War 2018, just with new content. So don't get me wrong, like, there's nothing wrong with the sequel being the same thing as the previous game. Like, I get that. Like, obviously, if the game's in the same fucking franchise and is a direct sequel, it's going to be extremely similar, but nothing about what they've shown so far has blown me away. So hopefully I'm wrong, but I don't really think God of War Ragnarok is going to be like this groundbreaking like achievement in video games that we've never seen before. I think it's going to be more of the same of 2018, just hopefully with more boss fights sprinkled in.
By what we end up seeing, and I think Sony is effectively going to steal the show for the entirety of June if this is how they plan on ending this month.
I just want to know what exactly they're stealing the show from, but as we'll see now, it's slowly evolved from this being about a state of play to now just being a blog post with not even a trailer to accompany the release date. You know, as we got closer and closer to the 30th, the fanboys started freaking out, like, why hasn't Sony announced the state of play? Typically, they'll announce the state of play at least a couple days before it happens, so now they had to switch their tune, and the rumors became about a blog post with no trailer being posted with the release date. So let's go ahead and check that shit out.
We're moving on to the next topic though, which talks about the elephant in the room, that being God of War Ragnarok, and what is going on with this game and what exactly we should be expecting tomorrow on June 30th. Well, I have a pretty significant update for you guys.
Oh shit, man, here it comes. That 100% reliable leaker wasn't so reliable after all.
So we're just gonna get into it. So the first update comes from Jason Schreier. This is reading from PlayStation Lifestyle, where it says the latest information from insiders suggests that God of War Ragnarok's release date news will come tomorrow on Thursday, though it wouldn't be revealed during a State of Play presentation. Instead, the release date is expected to be confirmed in a standard PlayStation blog post.
So in less than a week, we go from them having an entire dedicated event to them just posting a shitty little blog post with a release date. This is what I mean, man. I wonder if these are the same insiders that gave him the initial fucking information too. I guarantee you.
Potentially accompanied by a trailer. So over on Twitter, an individual replied to Jason Schreier in regards to God of War Ragnarok and said that people have been quoting him for the past 3 weeks, talking about getting some type of show or state of play announcing God of War Ragnarok's release date. And so Jason replied by saying, I said Sony is expected to announce God of War Ragnarok's November release date soon. Yes, I didn't say anything about a show, and that is true.
But see, this is the problem, is everybody takes the rumors, runs with it, it gets misinterpreted, people base their rumors off of other people's rumors, and it becomes one massive clusterfuck to the point where if you see the word rumor, you probably should just fucking ignore it at this point. Like, this is the perfect example of how a rumor means absolutely fucking nothing, even from a quote-unquote 100% reliable source.
Jason Schreier never did say anything about a show or state of play. It's always been assumed that Sony or Santa Monica would be doing some type of state of play, and even when you think about the snitch essentially letting everybody know that on June 30th is when we're going to get new information on God of War Ragnarok, it was assumed by myself as well as many others that that new information would come in the form of a state of play.
So basically you misled a bunch of people and interpreted something the way you wanted it to, but now he's gonna act like the writing was on the wall the entire time, and it makes sense why they wouldn't have a state of play and instead are just releasing a blog post.
The timing does seem right, but at this point it's obvious it's not going to be a state of play.
No shit.
Instead, it's going to be the announcement of the release date as well as maybe the different editions. Tom Henderson over on his Twitter account says, Santa Monica / Sony right now preparing to announce something to give God of War fans some life. Beneath that, he says, collect the hints out there and you can piece together what will be announced soon. And he did reply to somebody who said it's happening June 30th. It won't be a state of play, just a gameplay trailer and blog post. And Tom replied by saying, not even a gameplay trailer.
Oh, how the mighty have fallen. We go from a dedicated state of play event to not even getting a fucking gameplay trailer.
At this point in time, it's become very clear what we can expect tomorrow. And to further back this up, I'm actually going to refer to my Twitter account because I actually had Corey Barlog respond to something that I said, which
Bro, you already know he was fangirling the fuck out when that happened.
Obviously wasn't anticipating, but I think it maybe lends credence to what we can expect tomorrow. I simply said, I wonder what God of War Ragnarok's Collector's Edition will contain, and Corey replied with the thinking face emoji.
Wow, what insightful information. The thinking emoji? Holy shit.
And so, obviously, that's going to catch the attention of a lot of people. And so, it seems we are going to get something very similar to what God of War 2018 received, which was a blog post announcement of the release date about 3 months in advance, alongside the different editions that you can pre-order. Now,
oh, so now it's obvious what we were gonna get. We were gonna get the same thing as the original God of War got when it came to the release date announcement. It's funny how that works now, dude.
Now, the only difference here may come in the form of not getting a new trailer alongside this, because if I'm not mistaken, I think when God of War 2018's blog post release date announcement happened, there was a new trailer accompanying it. I don't think that's happening this time around.
Yeah, we got a CGI trailer, but not a gameplay trailer. But I don't know, man. This whole thing was very funny to me. But a week later, from the 30th, we finally got the release date for God of War Ragnarok. It's coming out November 9th, I believe, which, you know, congratulations, PlayStation fanboys. You have something to look forward to. And well, let's just say the reaction from them has been very colorful. Now we get to the real degenerate shit, man. I really just can't believe this is a thing, but you know what, man? It's 2022, and PlayStation fanboys are always willing to reach a brand new low. Now, there is an article called God of War Director Tells Creeps to Stop Sending Explicit Pictures to Game Devs. Yes, gamers are having to be told not to send pics of their private parts to game developers, and no, this is not a fucking joke, dude. I don't know, man. PlayStation fanboys are just an endless source of entertainment. So let's go ahead and read this wonderful article. God of War's Corey Barlog has told fans to stop sending dick pics to game devs after a member of his team was harassed with explicit images. This comes as developers speak out about the abuse they receive from the community following the harassment suffered by Monkey Island creator Ron Gilbert after a recent game trailer. Yes, you read that correctly. Gamers have been told not to send unsolicited nudes to developers because apparently it wasn't obvious enough that it is an awful thing to do. And worse yet, this isn't even the first time God of War Ragnarok's dev team has been harassed, having been subjected to misogynistic abuse when the game was hit with a delay last year. I'll tell you what, man, these PlayStation fanboys are batting 2 for 2 at harassing the developers that make the games they claim to love so much. So I don't know, man. Fanboys just never fail to disappoint. But the article continues, pro tip, sending me dick pics asking for God of War Ragnarok release date will not in fact get me to reveal the release date, wrote Estelle Tijani, cinematics producer on God of War Ragnarok. This prompted a response from Barlog, outraged that anyone would think this was a good idea. Well, you know, fanboy logic is just top tier, man. You know, we can't comprehend just the insane intellect that they possess. But anyway, Corey Barlog quote tweeted this and said, "Are you fucking kidding me with this now? I cannot believe I even have to say this, but don't fucking send dick pics to anyone on this team or anyone in the industry for that matter. They're busy busting their ass to make something for you to enjoy. Show some fucking respect." And honestly, I don't think Corey took that far enough, alright? I don't think you should be sending dick pics to anybody. It's generally just not really a great idea, man. But anyway, the article continues here and says, once again, it appears that the women at Sony Santa Monica are bearing the brunt of harassment from fans. Back when Ragnarok was pushed back into 2022, some fans responded by sending violently misogynistic messages to game writer Alana Pierce. The message she received included violent physical threats, solely blaming her for the delay. Barlog also defended Pierce at the time, saying the delay was his call to make. I mean, it's just really amazing, bro. Like, for how much these PlayStation fanboys, like, literally get on their hands and knees and worship the ground that these fucking exclusive games walk on, and the people who make them, like, they sure treat them like fucking shit when things don't go their way. It's almost like they have the mentality of a small child. I wonder where we've seen that before. But I do think it's very interesting, man, because I have a theory, and I don't know how accurate this is. You know, I could be completely off base, but when I think about another PlayStation fanboy who previously sent unsolicited dick pics to someone in the gaming community, there's only one that comes to mind, and that's none other than our boy J-Tech TV.
You're the best big brother I could have ever asked for.
I don't know, guys. You'll have to tell me, but do you think our boy J-Tech is behind this shit, or was it some other mystery man that enjoys sending his dick pic to random chicks on the fucking internet? I have no idea, man. Call it a theory on my part, but I just have a feeling, you know, it kind of lines up with previous behavior, but I don't know, dude. This shit is just getting really fucking wild. So we have one more kind of mini topic to talk about before we wrap this up, and that, of course, is none other than the collector's edition, because apparently some PlayStation fanboys are pretty upset. So there is some drama surrounding the God of War Collector's Edition, and fanboys are not happy because in the Collector's Edition, you get a steelbook for the game, but inside of the steelbook, you do not get a disc for the game itself. Instead, you get a digital download code, and they're upset, which I kind of agree. Like, what is the point of having a steelbook case if you don't even have a fucking disc to put in it? Like, that's literally just clutter at that point. But then again, that entire Collector's Edition consists of nothing but a bunch of clutter you'll probably put on a shelf and just have collect dust for the rest of eternity. But, you know, that's beside the point, man. People like these collector's editions. I used to too when I was younger. I've kind of grown out of it, but, you know, it is what it is. It's kind of stupid to give you a steelbook case that literally is specifically designed to hold a disc without the disc inside. It's just really fucking dumb. I actually wonder if the case inside will have like a slot for a game disc to go into, which that just makes me think like Sony could have done both. Okay, they could have put a disc and a code in there, because, you know, there's a lot of reasons I've seen floating around for the reason why they did this. I've seen some people say it's because the PS4 disc would be different than the PS5 disc, and they don't want to make two versions of the collector's edition. And it's even more simple than that, man, because you could just have the PS4 disc and then you could put it in the PS5, and through backwards compatibility, it could detect, hey, you're playing God of War Ragnarok, and just install the PlayStation 5 version. But the issue is that half the PS5 consoles out there do not have a disc drive. So literally all the people with the PS5 digital edition would buy this collector's edition, get a fucking disc, and then they wouldn't be able to play it. Now, what I think Sony should do is just include a game disc inside the case and then also provide the digital download code. I mean, shit, bro, this collector's edition is probably going to be close to $300 fucking dollars, and it costs them absolutely nothing to print off another code for the game. So I think if people are going out of their way to spend that much money on the fucking collector's edition, they should be able to get both a code and a disc for the game so they can play it on whatever console console they want in whatever way they want, because, you know, the collector's edition obviously appeals to the type of people who love to hoard, like, video game cases, which, you know, to each their own, but the fact that it doesn't even have a disc inside of it's just pretty fucking stupid. But then again, also, you know, the people that do like the hoard game cases, they literally just leave them on the shelf for the most part anyway, so technically you would still have, you know, the item on your shelf if you really wanted to look at it all day, and then you could just play the game on your console. But it is what it is, man. I think it's kind of dumb. This was a very easily avoidable issue. I get why they did the digital code, but they could have put both in there. Like, let's be honest, they're probably making like $200 profit off of these cheap plastic replica toys they're putting in the box, so it doesn't cost them anything to print off a code in addition to putting a disc inside. I think this could have been an easily avoidable thing. I kind of understand why people are upset, because again, the collector's edition appeals more to that crowd of people who want like a physical copy of the game, because, you know, the collector's edition is physical in the first place. But just another little controversy surrounding the release date announcement of God of War, because this was actually announced with the release date. So I don't know, guys, let's go ahead and wrap this shit up. You know, when you're dealing with PlayStation fanboys, there's never really a dull moment, and they always manage to outdo themselves. And this entire situation regarding the God of War release date is just more proof of that, man. From unwanted dick pics to random fucking rumors and speculation to people getting upset that they won't have another disc to add to their wall of virginity, it's just never a dull moment, man. But in all honesty, God of War Ragnarok looks great. I'm looking forward to it personally, and I think it's going to be a great sequel to God of War 2018, and, you know, fingers crossed, I'm just hoping we get some awesome boss fights in this game, because that was the one area I felt like God of War 2018 was lacking in. So fingers crossed, man. I'm looking forward to it. Let me know your thoughts on this entire thing in the comment section below. I want to thank you all so much for taking the time out of your day to check out this video, and for all the recent support as well. You guys are the fucking best, and I really do appreciate it, and I've got a bunch more content planned, so just stay tuned, man. It's going to be a very, very fun rest of the summer. But anyway, guys, thanks so much again for watching, and I will catch you guys next time.